Not respecting others' free will, boundary violators. The Buddha said, don't let yourself be controlled by three things: people, money, or past experiences. The first two I'm good with, the third I still have trouble. I have PTSD. And please don't send me all kinds of emails on how to deal with PTSD. I will block you from ever contacting me again. Why? You're offering advice that I can use, right? You're being nice and trying to help. Apparently you didn't see our last video called Power Over Others versus Authenticity. This is one of the power over others cases. But you're thinking, I'm not trying to get power over you. I'm trying to help you. I didn't ask for your help. It's that simple. That is how you're exercising power over me. You're not respecting my free will and my right to ask for what I need rather than having it be foisted at me by well-meaning people. And for someone whose first experience of life was abuse, whose first experiences in dealing with human beings on earth was them telling them what to think, what they're allowed to feel, and violating them in every other way possible, violating their self-worth, violating my soul, I have learned to walk my path by myself, but ultimately for others. Why should I do things your way instead of the way I choose to do them? I'm on my own path and I get to decide what I want to do. If it's the wrong thing, then it's up to me to figure that out, isn't it? Because that's the other message you're sending me when you tell me how to do something: you're doing it wrong. I know better than you do, so do it my way. What part of this isn't controlling? You're trying to control me, yet you don't even realize it. That's how well your method of developing consciousness is working for you. You're blind to the fact that you're trying to control me. You're blind to the fact that you're a boundary violator. You're blind to the fact that not everyone wants to hear what you've got to say. If that's higher consciousness, thank you, but I'll just stick to my way of doing things because I'm aware of these things. I only give answers when I'm asked to give them. I still believe the best way to higher consciousness is to become aware of every single little thing you do every day. Intention is everything. Why do you think you've incarnated? What do you think the purpose of incarnation is? So you can become conscious while embodied. It's not so you can avoid consciousness, which is what a lot of people are doing. They believe themselves to be physical bodies and live accordingly. This is not conscious living. You take up a practice, but are you applying it to your everyday life? Because that's your legacy, on Earth anyway. That's your gift to this planet, your everyday life, the decisions you made, how you treated others, etc., etc. If you're like a bull in a china shop, I don't want to share my life with you, and I won't. Learning to see the forest before the trees helps. I can spot a boundary violator with controlling tendencies while I see the forest. I don't need individual details, the trees, to determine what challenge you're bringing to my life. Life has given me the gift of foresight. I've hit my head on enough trees in the past to understand what I'm looking at now. People don't look at what their behavior implies. They don't think very deeply about the reasons they do what they do. I have had to. In order to get myself to this point of awareness, I have had to scrutinize everything I think and how I react to others. So I understand many of the motivations of other people's behavior. I am deliberate enough that if I want your help, I will ask for it. It's that simple. When you give it without my asking for it first, I feel like my boundaries are being violated and that you're not safe for me. The fact that you can't respect my free will tells me that you are a boundary violator, right there. Maybe this time you're being nice, but maybe next time you won't be so nice, or maybe after 5 or 6 times of dispensing advice to me that I won't follow, you're going to become nasty, critical, and overbearing. Respect my boundaries, or you will be blocked. You are not safe for me. Every day I get up and I stick to the schedule as best I can. I will not allow myself to be taken off of my path by extraneous situations. If what you're introducing doesn't pertain to my day's work, I won't value it. I have sent out requests to people I wish to keep in contact with, for whatever reason. I have cut off those who are not safe for me or who feel that they can email me back and forth on a friendship basis. Let me explain it. When you have PTSD, high anxiety, and the tendency to be a depressive, when you have fibromyalgia or hormone imbalances, whatever this problem I have is, you are very caught up in self-care and you don't have time for a lot of things. You have to take time to rest, whether you want to or not. You have to take time to eat properly. With allergies I have to keep the house clean. It's not like I have a choice, nor would I want to live in a dirty house. Those of you with chronic fatigue syndromes or who are going through ascension or both, are like me, I'm assuming. You've watched your lives dwindle down to basics and even then you can't get much done. Housework gets done in 10-minute intervals, exercise means you walk to the next corner 4 houses away and back. You spend your time in front of the computer because the only part of you moving is your hands. You learn to conserve energy. Your 80-plus-year-old neighbor can walk faster than you can. The other thing that many of you don't realize is that when you approach me, it's for help. I have opened up to do these personal channelings, but that's it. When you're as sick and tired as I am, helping other people becomes a very difficult proposition. But yet we still need to do it in order to ascend. Do you see the conundrum this causes for many of us? I'm not the only one. The fact that you guys don't listen when I ask for your cooperation makes you unsafe. When you think about it, apply that in your daily life. You say no, you can't stay late to your boss and your boss tells you you have to, you don't have a choice. How much are you going to like him after he forces you to stay late against your will? Someone wants to be your friend on Facebook and you're just not that into them, but they keep bugging you, wanting to talk to you. Does that make you feel safe? Does that make you enjoy life any more than you already do or don't? Somebody emails you and tells you how lucky Ivo is to have you because, obviously he's implying he'd like to have a shot at you himself. How does that make you feel? The fact that he believes he'd even have a shot at me, that I have no free will or the right or desire to turn him down. He doesn't think I can say no to him. That fact that I'm in a relationship but he doesn't care. He goes on lusting over me anyway. Would that make you feel safe? Being at peace with each other is great, but what are the smaller steps? One of the smaller steps is not representing a threat to other people by violating their free will. We are free will violators. We do it all the time, in the name of being nice too. Because we are boundary violators. And it's in violating each other's boundaries that many arguments start, let's face it. Don't think the Matrix doesn't know that. It encourages it. Great source of lush for them. We just think there is a normal way of interacting with others and everyone subscribes to that normal way. That works for the most part, but sometimes people have special needs. The way to determine this is to ask first and then listen when they tell you what they need from you. If the person doesn't make their email public, or specifies on their web page that they'll can any email for any other purpose than the one specified, why do you think you're so special that you can ignore all their boundaries? Yes, you're a boundary violator. And you're used to ignoring other people and only serving your own needs. You are entitled. So you get blocked. When people keep shutting the door in your face, maybe you'll start to get the message because it's coming. Self-serving is third-dimensional. I take a lot of risks in working with you guys and most of you respect my needs, and I thank you for it. Others do not and they get blocked. Most of you who have followed me for a while are respectful. See, the other thing is those entitled people who ignore others' needs also disrespect them as people. I come from a family of boundary violators and disrespecting the person whose boundaries you're violating is part of the behavior. If you respected me, you wouldn't violate my boundaries, would you? The person I called out on Facebook for sending me an unsolicited email will probably get annoyed and walk away thinking I'm some kind of screwball. The reason for this is because the ego will defend their behavior as being correct despite what I say. The ego has to defend itself as being right all the time. And because the ego doesn't have self-esteem or the capacity for respecting others, It will chop anyone down it feels disagrees with it. Being conscious is a question of admitting when you're wrong, admitting when you could have done better and then making restitution. And not shooting down but learning what they have to teach you. That's the other thing, busy as I am, everything that happens of this sort is an opportunity for personal growth on my part and that takes time as well. So I have to look at it. I know I'm working on forgiveness and I have to find a way to forgive people. Or like Jesus said, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. I do think slowing down your day is a way to become more conscious. When it speeds by you and you're just reacting to it in ways you don't have a chance to examine it. You have to take time to examine it even if that means making time. And who's got that? It's like learning French. You have to slow down the speech otherwise you don't understand it. Same with becoming conscious. I guess Jesus was asked how many times the person should forgive someone who erred against him and 7 times was suggested. Jesus said 77 times. He's persistent. I have to admit though, when I allowed comments on this channel, I wasn't impressed by what I was seeing written. The trolls found the channel, and then the fighting began. Some people didn't get involved, the ones with self-mastery. Others got into fights with the trolls and when the trolls took shots at me, you came to my rescue. Despite everything Ivo and I had said about the victim triangle, you were lured into setting them up right on my channel. Not even listening, apparently. I guess the ones who listen know how important good boundaries, authenticity and assertive speech is to the future of humanity, because it is important. If you're fighting with trolls you're helping to keep your vibration low, and you're setting this entire ascension process back. Yes, an intuition. One day those who are more conscious will separate from those who aren't. The timelines will split out and the slow ones will have made their choice. The ones who got it will fly higher. I want to include part of a conversation I had with Ivo the other day in here because it's informative. Ivo, and this is the thing, my love. Normally, they can manage. And we know that the world will change soon, in order to make their lives easier. They will pay fewer taxes, they will receive more money from the Saint Germain funds, they will have an easier time of it. Things that are necessities in life will become less expensive, such as gasoline. And your bills will be reduced. New types of power will come in to compete with the old power systems. Wow. No more hydro lines all over the place. What if they had a big crystal in a city and then people had crystal energy receivers in their homes and then the energy was turned into electricity by a converter, and then it fed all your appliances like electricity does now? Ivo, yes, just think. What if? Where would birds land? LOL. Ivo, I am sure your birds will do fine. No more lines for the squirrels to run across. What will I do in my free time instead of watching acrobatic squirrels? LOL. Ivo, you could talk to me. Ivo, I've learned that communicating is work. Ivo, I realize this, but I am most interested in telling you about our way of life and what we plan to do for our community. So maybe I can do videos on it? Ivo, if you prefer. You know I share everything. That's why I'm Sharon. Ivo, I realize that, my love. I consider the information you give me to be public domain. Well, no, not that information. LOL. Ivo, snickering, yes, some things are confidential. I want you to tell me face to face about our life together, the life we live as souls, not just the last physical life. Ivo, so you are holding out on me. LOL. I figure there will be a lot of information you have to give me when you land. It'll be mind-boggling. Ivo, yes. You are catching on to some of it yourself, such as the large crystal feeding free energy to homes. We do have systems like that in the galaxy. What else? Ivo, we have home crystals as well. So smaller ones that feed your appliances. Ivo, yes, and we store information in them as well. It can work like a book. Our minds tap into the crystal and our favorite book is downloaded into our minds. Me, yeah, but your minds are fast. How long are your books? Ivo, I said, we see one lifetime as being from inception to current day, and even then, we will go back and forth into the future and the past. Me, boy. Ivo, it goes without saying that your lives are considerably shortened because of the frequencies you indulge in, such as fear, hate and anger. When you express these constantly, then you lower your life expectation. The body works best on higher frequencies of love. You are tiring. Me, I got up early so I could have some free time. Ivo, yes, now you require a nap. Me, I might need 1 or 2 today to keep me going. Ivo, very well. We will end this channeling. Me, thanks, Ivo. Ivo, my love, there is so much for you to remember. And for the rest of you as well.